American cities and also American schools are feeling the financial strain from the migrant crisis. In cities like Springfield, Massachusetts, the mayor is calling out the federal government to get moving, get something done. Joining us now is Michele Exner, Senior Advisor for Parents Defending Education. Welcome back to the National Desk, Michele. Let's first start in Springfield, Massachusetts. In May of 2023, the mayor of Springfield said that the city had taken its fair share of migrants like many other cities across America, and it's time for the federal government to get something done. These numbers here are truly astounding. As of January 2024, it is estimated that taxpayers in Massachusetts alone have paid more than $300 million across the state to address what local reporting there is describing as a migrant crisis. Now, Parents Defending Education, your organization, has reviewed thousands of documents that you got via FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. Exactly what did you get back? What did you review?
Yeah, absolutely. So I spent hours reviewing these documents, reviewing pages of emails and correspondence, and it's absolutely clear what you just mentioned, that this town and town cities across America are feeling the brunt of President Biden's border crisis. What stood out the most to me as I was reading through these documents was a disservice that this creates for teachers who are being asked to handle an untenable and near impossible situation that was pushed on them by the federal government. And these are just some specific examples that I pulled out during my research, was that teachers admitted that they were seeing an influx of newcomers and are seeing that number rise on a daily basis. Another one, there are translation services that are needed, both written and oral. We're talking about things that need to be translated in 17 different languages. Another teacher vented that she had to find so many interpreters for either students or parent-teacher conference that it had become near essentially a full-time job. And teachers are also described the challenges of grading students when they don't have any record of the schooling that child has had. So it's really unfortunate that our teachers and schools have been put, and students, frankly, all students have been put in this unfortunate situation.
Now, your FOIA request reveals some new information that you just mentioned there, but what is the solution? Because this money that's coming in is being used, like you said, to pay for those training sessions. They're being used for mental health. They're being used to pay for translators. The students are here. So what do you think should happen? You have the mayor here of this town saying we need federal help. I don't know how much federal dollars would actually help this problem or could fix it. So what is the solution?
Yeah, resources aren't going to help when the source of the problem has not been corrected, right? 4 years ago, January 2021, when President Biden was sworn in, his administration essentially announced amnesty for 10 million to 12 million illegal immigrants. And of course, that opened the floodgates. So everything we're seeing now was a predictable problem from 4 years ago. And unfortunately, we've seen an administration who's essentially done nothing. I think up to now, we're up to 8 million illegal immigrants that have crossed the border since President Biden was inaugurated. That is just awful. That is a failure. And so it really needs to start at the top. There needs to be action taken to stop the flow of migrants coming into the country, because there's no amount of resources that taxpayers can provide to be able to fix this problem and provide cities and towns with the resources that they need.
So we're kind of in limbo here, because right now the migrants are here and these children are going to these schools, and it doesn't seem like Congress can get anything done, at least in immigration. They have proven that time and time again. So what is happening? So should the federal government spend more money, because the problem doesn't seem to be going away or getting any better?
Yeah, absolutely. There needs to be demand and call to action for the president's administration to do something about this, and also Congress's role. So as far as the K-12 aspect of it, so next week on June 4th at 10:15 a.m., actually the House Education and Workforce Committee will be holding a hearing, putting a spotlight on the chaos that President Biden's border crisis has created in K-12 schools. So we think that will continue to really show the American public, right, and call policymakers and the federal government to take action to stop this crisis.
And I want to ask you this very quickly. This is regarding, you talk about chaos in the classroom, the impact it has on learning when you have students who may not be up to speed based on wherever they went to school in their country. How does this impact the whole learning process in the classroom?
Absolutely. I think it's unfortunate for all students. It's unfortunate for the students that are there, right? The ones from the community that are going to that school. It's unfortunate for the migrant students coming in. I mean, schools are legally obligated to take these students in and provide them with some whether it's the resources that are provided by the school or education, access to classrooms to attend the school. But then you're having resources diverted away. You're probably having classrooms grow and just the language services that are needed, right? Schools are not equipped to handle this influx, this flow of people coming in that don't speak the language that is spoken at that school. And so I think that's a disservice both to the students in the community that are going to that school and a disservice to the migrant students. No one is getting the education that they should be getting, right? And so I think a lot of long-term problems. And I feel for the teachers. I feel for the teachers and staff who are dealing with this problem that they didn't create, and they're just trying to do the best
I think that's
they can.
why you're having so many teachers and also parents saying something right now. Thank you so much, Michele, from Parents Defending Education. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Angela.